Ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome back to Ingrediology. Happy Wednesday to you. My name is Logan. If you haven't joined us here before, I'm a chef instructor out of Denver, Colorado. Today, on our Wednesday weeknight dinner, we're going to be making shepherd's pie. Shepherd's pie is a classic dish with browned lamb meat and a rich gravy with mixed vegetables, some delicious herbs like rosemary, sage, and thyme, topped off with some whipped chive potatoes. Then we're gonna bake that whole thing in the oven. It's gonna be a delicious meal. I hope that you're ready for it if you plan on cooking along with us. If you would like to cook along with us here at a later date, all of the VODs, the video on demands, will be available for you to watch later on all of our social media, be that Twitch, Facebook, YouTube, or Tastemade. You can also watch the VODs here on Tastemade if you signed up for the class and you weren't able to join us live. If you would like to cook along with that VOD, go over to ingrediology.org and find the class guides tab, and then you can search out this class or any of our other free classes that we offer to the public. Again, I'm so glad you're here. We're gonna have a great time. Hello, Tastemade. I see we've got two people in the chat room over there. Hi, welcome. It's great to have you. And then who we got hanging out over here on the Twitch side? I got to keep an eye over here on Twitch chat as well. Guys, if you would, the first thing I'd like you to do is start looking through your equipment list that's provided for you on the class guide page and getting all that equipment out and ready to go. We'll go over that here in just a second. All right, looks like it's pretty quiet. Pretty quiet on all fronts right here. We're online. Everything's checking out good. What's up, Twitch family? What are you up to? Alara, welcome. What up, all you amazing people? You're amazing. You're amazing, Alara, for being back here. What are you doing on this fine Wednesday? It's 10 degrees out right now, guys, and it is a snowy day in Denver, Colorado, and I can't think of a better, more filling, warm, stick-to-your-ribs meal than shepherd's pie. So I'm happy we're making this today. Tastemade people, where are you joining us from? Come on, give us a shout out here in chat. It's always so quiet over here in Tastemade. It's the point of the live stream here, guys. You got to get in and you can talk to me. You got me available here for the next 2 hours, even if you just, want to screw around and talk with me. Just BS. All right, let's see. I'm going to get a drink real quick. Oh, lots of talking. Lots of talking, I feel. Anybody joining us here for the first time over in Tastemade? I think we've got a couple of first-time guests here. Luck. No hoots, baby. Ralph Sambat, thank you for being here. Hello. You're just lurking, baby. No worries. We love our lurkers here on Ingrediology. Not a lot, just waiting for 2:30 to come so I can get our 5-year-old daughter Amelia off the school bus. Amelia is such a cute name. I love that. Yeah, I was a little late going live here today, guys. I'm sorry about that. Not late. I mean, I hit the 3 o'clock time and everything, but I had Remy right up until 3 o'clock, and then Megan was able to take over and get out of the meeting she had for the afternoon to let me be here and stream with you. The fact is, Kevin and Kathy left this morning. They got on a plane back to Indiana to go celebrate our nephew's birthday with him in Indianapolis. So we are without grandparents here in the house for the next week, which is unusual. It's going to be a lot, but we're going to do it. Everybody else can do it. We can do it too. Let's talk about the ingredients that we got going on here for today. You guys might notice the layout's a little bit different than usual. No bar here on the bottom, just the simple Ingrediology logo. We're trying to simplify for editing purposes, all right? It's much easier to edit the video when I don't have all these overlays and recipe steps and whatnot. I hope the live stream doesn't suffer for it, but the YouTube videos will be much better edited because of it. Anyways, recipes. Talking about the lamb filling first, which is what we're going to be measing out after we're done with our potatoes, but we'll introduce it first just because it's first in the recipe. I have everything laid out here on our sheet tray. We're going to be chopping up or giving a small dice to a white onion right here. We've got 4 garlic cloves in our ramekin, 3 tablespoons of tomato paste, 1 tablespoon of cornstarch, to which we will be adding 2 tablespoons of water to make a slurry to help thicken our sauce. Then we have our 3 cups, 20 ounces of beef stock is what we have right here. A 1/4 teaspoon of dried rub sage. This should be enough for a teaspoon of fresh thyme leaves, but a solid couple of sprigs of thyme. And then we're also gonna be adding in a tablespoon of chopped fresh rosemary leaves. So we got that ready to go as well. Again, this is just our filling. On top of this, we also have 2 pounds of lamb, which are in the cooler right now, and then 16 ounces of mixed vegetables, which I'm gonna pull those frozen mixed vegetables out before we get going. Otherwise, I'm just gonna forget about it. Just gonna be honest here. There we go. Lamb is awesome. I agree, Luck. Can we get a shout out for Luck too, by the way? Another Twitch streamer here on the platform, awesome food and drinker, always puts really good looking, delicious food in our Discord server. Exclamation point Discord in chat if you'd like to join us over on that area. And Luck, speaking of lamb, you did a rack of lamb this week, if I remember correctly. Rack of lamb and herb green risotto. Am I recalling that properly? It looked delicious. Oh, I didn't take the lamb out of the packaging. Gosh, I don't think it's professional anymore. Chef, what are you doing? Let's get our lamb opened up. Now, if you are cooking along, everybody, let's talk about the equipment that you're gonna need before we move on to our potatoes, which we'll be talking about shortly. Let me get my gloves out. Over on the stove, we've got our pan set up. We're gonna be using a heavy-bottomed stainless steel skillet in that open burner on the front left. But in the back, I've got a small sauce pot where we're gonna be adding in our milk. We've got a stock pot there on the back right or back left burner, and that's where our potatoes are gonna go into a little bit of water after we get them peeled and chopped up, all right? The first thing we're gonna be doing is our mash, but I'm just getting the mise en place out of the way right now. Hup, hup, hup. I did, yep, herb risotto with mint and spinach puree. Ooh, you teasing me. I do love risotto. You know I'm a fan of risotto. I haven't made risotto on the channel in forever. I can't think of a time that I've made risotto. We've been doing this for over 2 years now, and I don't know if I've done risotto on stream. I'm sure I have. I had to have done risotto on stream. How could I not? Oh, all right. I tried lamb about 3 years ago when I had lunch on Disney Fantasy Ship in Port Canaveral, Florida. It was good. So, Ralph, you should try lamb again. This is a perfect recipe to do it. Exclamation point recipe in chat if you'd like to be taken over to our website, and you can check out the class guide there. Now, I was talking about the mashed potatoes. These mashed potatoes, they are divine, all right? I don't brag too much, but these potatoes will knock your socks off. So the ingredients we have, they're gonna be over here on the board. I've already gone ahead and I've washed our potatoes earlier in the day, scrubbed them. I always scrub my potatoes with a sponge. You don't have to, but I like them real clean. There's all sorts of stuff that just ends up on the outside of them. So we have our potatoes. This should be about 4 pounds of potatoes. We need 3 pounds peeled. So I've got 4 pounds right here. We have for our milk, 12 ounces of milk, 4 tablespoons or half a stick, 2 ounces of butter. This is unsalted butter. I always use unsalted butter. And then we have a 1/4 teaspoon of white pepper, ground white pepper. Now, and chives. Now the chives, this should end up to be a 1/4 cup of chives. I just put the chives in a damp paper towel because like cilantro or parsley or other tender herbs like that, they tend to wilt, get bad before you have the chance to cut them up. So just by rinsing them and then wrapping them in a moist paper towel keeps them nice and fresh, all right? Now, I was gonna talk about our white pepper right here. Why would I use white pepper instead of black pepper? This is more of a classical thing where you don't want black specks of pepper coming through your potatoes. It just gives it a more consistent, creamier, classic look to it than black pepper would. So we use white pepper, all right? It's as simple as that. It's just for the look, just so it doesn't look all speckled and stuff. All right, our first thing is gonna be peeling these bad boys down. So you should have a peeler ready to go, have your potatoes at hand, and then we're gonna need a place to put our peeled potatoes, and I don't like any kind of oxidation or browning taking place after we've peeled our potatoes. So I'm gonna fill up that pot of water so they can go right into our water after we've peeled them. Whoop. Yeah. Baby bottles in the sink. Now the water I'm running here, guys, is cold water. And we're gonna be starting out our potatoes in cold water on the stove, especially since they're large chunks. You always do this with potatoes. You do the same with hard-boiled eggs. Start them out in cold water, bring them up to temperature, bring them up to a boil, and let them cook out there. This, if you were just to throw your potatoes into already rapidly boiling water, what's gonna happen is the outsides are gonna become cooked and mealy before the insides are totally done, and then you have uneven cooked potatoes. So by doing it cold and providing a much longer temperature gradient for these potatoes to travel up, they're more evenly cooked. That should be good, so let's just put this over here on our prep table. Get out of here, mixed vegetables. We're not gonna use you for a little bit. All right, so that's just gonna be off to the side while we peel out our potatoes. So I hope you're ready for that. What's up, Aurora? What's up, Snake Eye? Funny story, my husband doesn't like turkey much and told me if I get ground turkey to enjoy, he wants none of it. Well, last week I mixed hamburger and ground turkey together and made patties, and he thought it was one of the best things. Sometimes you gotta trick people. They say they don't like something, but then you give them a dish that has that something, and they end up enjoying it. I did that with a mac and cheese a few years back. I surprised the whole family telling him that it was vegan after they'd eaten the whole thing. I made it with vegan substitute cheese and like nutritional yeast and gluten-free pasta, and they're like, wait, this is like a vegan health food kind of thing? I was like, yeah. The heat is also softer than with the black pepper. You're right, Aurora, it is a slightly milder version of pepper than just the black pepper. Tastemate, I still haven't heard anything out of you. What are you bunch of creeps doing? Just hanging out in the chat, watching me, lurking. Hey Triad, happy Wednesday to you. Thanks for being here. How's your week going so far, my friend? We're just gonna get in here, peel these potatoes down, guys. I'm putting them in the water until they're all peeled, and then I'm gonna pull them back out and cut them into large chunks. Big chunks like 2 inches by 2 inches. All right, like each potato you'll be able to like have it and then get 3 cuts out of it. Well, 2 cuts, so 6 pieces. On large russet potatoes like I have here. But this does not have to be precise. That's how I get our daughter to eat veggies, is hide it in foods like mac and cheese, eggs, and so much more. I know, I'm gonna have to start practicing that, Alara. Remy is gonna be 5 months here next week. And we're gonna start giving him like little rice stuff and soft bananas and the like. Okay, I'm gonna fix this camera just a little bit. There we go. Center it more where the action takes place. There we go. So what's new with you guys? The nutritional yeast is why. The stuff is like MSG, it's salt crunch. Yes, it is. It's very much, it's just salty and sometimes crunchy if you cook it right. Deliciousness. You gotta trick the brain. You gotta hit all 5 of those senses. You gotta hit different textures. They thought they were eating real mac and cheese. Little did they know. Snake Eye, what have you been making on stream here recently? By the way, can we get a shout out for Snake Eye DIY, a makers and crafting streamer, one of our mods here on Ingrediology. Great all-around guy. Snake Eye almost didn't hit record before I went live, so all the changes I made wouldn't have even been recorded for post and everything. Ugh, I'd have been sick. I caught it right before we flipped over the cameras. I'm recording, right? Yes, I'm still recording. Good. Making things. What are you making? Waiting to see my good. Waiting to see my GF's new hair color. Then I'm gonna munch down on a grilled cheese. 2 grilled cheese sandwiches on a bun and bacon cheeseburger from Five Guys. Ooh. Wait, are you saying you're putting all that together, Triad? Because that's some next level stuff right there. Gotta automate that record button. I know, I have it automated in another setup. I need to go change in that setting. There we go. All right, with our potatoes peeled, now we just gotta chunk them down. Peeler can go off to the side. So like I was saying earlier, guys, just go ahead and split these lengthwise. And then, my chunk's about that big, so maybe we'll get 8 pieces out of this one. All right, large chunks of potato. Those go back in the water. Don't drop them on your keyboard like I did. So there is another version of the shepherd's pie that's just called a cottage pie. And a cottage pie, instead of being made with lamb, is made with ground beef. So if you want to make this with ground beef instead of lamb, feel free to. Just know that it is now a cottage pie. There we go. Now, after we have brought our potatoes to a boil here and from their cool water state, I wouldn't use the cool room temperature water. This doesn't have to be like freezing cold water. You just don't want to be putting these into hot or already boiling water. But once we get those cooked, we stick a paring knife through them and they slide right off. That's going to be our indicator that our potatoes are fully cooked through. Then we are going to we're going to put them through our ricer and add in our cream and our milk. Our milk and our butter. You know, words. Just wording today, guys. We made our last cottage pie with tater tots. Oh, that's interesting. I like that. I bet that made a super crunchy top, crunchier than we're gonna have on the top of ours. So onto the stove go our potatoes. I've turned my heat up to high, everybody. Let's turn down the music a little bit. I've turned that heat up to high and we're gonna bring our potatoes to a simmer, okay? We're doing it live. It's true. Making mostly bottle openers and mallets right now. Cool. Grant Dim, welcome to the stream. Great to have you. My name's Logan. This is Ingrediology if you've not joined us here before. Free cooking classes every Wednesday, and today we're making shepherd's pie. Where are you joining us from, Grant? We got our potatoes on. Now it's time to get our onions and our garlic and our lamb browning. So let's get the pan out for that first. 2 pounds. Let's get the big skillet. I want the big skillet. Big Dominican lunch. There we go. Okay. Grill scrapers. Ooh, grill scrapers next. Or if you can't get lamb at like Aldi's, we made our last cottage pie. If you made it with turkey, it's called a feather pie. Is that true? I don't think that's true. Sweet background music, turn it back up. Oh, sorry, Grant, I don't want to drown out too much of the audio. I could probably turn it back up a skosh for you. There you go. That's a little bit better. Indy used to be Grant. It's Grant. That's immediately who I thought of when I heard Grant. Grant, it's good to see you, man. Welcome to the stream. It's great that you're here to see what I do. You know. What do you think, Tom? Welcome. Happy Wednesday to you. Next step, everybody. We need to get our onion diced up. We're gonna mince our garlic, and then we're gonna brown off our lamb. We're gonna cook those onions in our rendered lamb fat after it's been browned. We're gonna add in our garlic and our tomato paste, and we're gonna brown those together, and then in goes the beef stock. But we're getting ahead of ourselves, because like I said, we just need to do our onion right now. So down here on the board, let's get that onion out. Now I know in the recipe it says a yellow onion. My apologies. I turned around today and all I had was a white or a red onion sitting in the basket. And then I remember that I used that yellow onion that I bought for the shepherd's pie for dinner last night. So we're just gonna go with the white onion here at the Shear household. But for the rest of you, it's gonna be exactly the same. We're taking off the stem end of our onion, then we're gonna trim up the root end, give it a little haircut. Biggie Smalls, welcome to the stream. Long time no speak, Tom. Yeah, you're right about that. Right about that, but I'm glad you're back. Anything fun going on with you? Anything at all? Wow, that onion is very overexposed. Okay, so we've just taken off the stem end and the root end of our onion. See how little I've taken off the end right there? Just giving it a haircut, just enough to remove those brown root ends, but leaving the root intact so it holds the layers of our onion together when we go in. You see how they all connect up here to the root? That'll keep our onion in one piece while we do our rainbow cut. Gotta hop in the shower quick. I'm dripping with sweat after a run. All right, Snake Eye, go get cleaned up, my friend. Go get cleaned up and come back and hang. All right, take off the skin on the outside hemispheres of your onions, everybody, and then practically parallel with the cutting board, we're gonna begin our rainbow cut by making thin slices, always facing towards the center of our onion. Now I'm going for a small dice, which means that my slices are gonna be about 1/4 inch wide. If you want a larger dice, thicker slices. But we just move our knife always facing towards the center, and you'll also note that I'm not going through the back end close to the root. I'm leaving this like last 1/2 inch closest to the root intact by not slicing through it. That is what's keeping this all together in one piece as I'm cutting it, okay? You're basically like making half of a bloomin' onion right here. That's what you're doing. I'm so bad at cutting onions. Well, try it this way. Maybe be a little bit better. It's not the easiest way, but it's definitely, you can get the most uniform pieces out of your onions by doing a rainbow cut for sure. All right, both are still in one piece. We're just gonna take and turn that perpendicular to how we had it before, and then cut it into 1/4 inch dices. Robertson, sound no worky anymore? Oh, is the sound alerts thing? Ah, well. Oh, well. We're not gonna have Gordon yelling at me during the stream. It's a darn shame. It's a crying shame. All right, let's finish this second half off and then we can move on to our garlic. You know what? Before we get the garlic going, I'm just gonna put the lamb in, get it browning up. Whoop. All right, these can go into a small bowl off to the side. Raise your hand if you're in chat if you're cooking along with us here today. Anybody following off the recipe guide? If that's the case, and there's ever a point where you feel like you're getting left behind or you didn't quite catch an instruction or whatever, please feel free. Shout out in chat. Let me know. I'm here for you, okay? Here for you. Onions, all done. Now, take a second, clean off the board, and then I'm gonna turn the heat on my pan to like a medium and start bringing up the temperature. Now let's go like medium high. Start bringing up the temperature of our large skillet right here. Now the potatoes, you can see, are starting to come up to temperature. Ooh, we're getting a little bit of steam off the top of our potato water. Now, we need to get our lamb ready. And you know what? I'm gonna add a little bit of salt to the potato water as well. Kind of like pasta water, you salt your potato water and those potatoes are gonna pick up some of that seasoning. So let's give it a tablespoon of kosher salt in our potato water. There you go, nicely seasoned. Now over here on the board, I've got our ground lamb. This is what we're gonna be browning off. Guys, I had a little bit of trouble finding the ground lamb the other day at the grocery store. I'm gonna be honest. It wasn't at Safeway, it wasn't at King Soopers. It was, eventually we found it at Sprouts. I don't know if you guys even have Sprouts out where you're at, but it's kind of like a natural grocers or a Trader Joe's. That's what I'm trying to think of. Trader Joe's. I've not been to Trader Joe's in years, but it's kind of like that. So you might need to go to Trader Joe's or even Whole Foods, Whole Paycheck to get your lamb if they don't have it at your normal grocery store. Usually they do. They have it at Safeway for me before, but this time they didn't. So fair warning. Now, over on the stove, we're waiting for our pan to come up to temperature right now. I'm gonna give this 2 tablespoons of oil just to get our lamb started in. There we go. When our oil is nice and loose and shimmery, then we'll toss in our lamb and brown that off. I cannot cook currently. I can barely eat. Been sick since last week, but I'm up and about at least. Aurora, I'm sorry to hear that. I hope you feel better soon. Chris, welcome to the stream. Who cooks in the middle of the afternoon? I have to work, damn it. I know. Like these streams go on here. It's just been our traditional time, and you know, it keeps me from working weekends. We're reconsidering. I don't know. I'm thinking about April. We're gonna carry on through March at our normal Wednesday, 3 p.m. the afternoon time. We might be able to up attendance a little bit if I go live on a weekend, but you know, with the stream and everything, it becomes a production for the day. You know, the kitchen gets taken over, all the dishes go through, I'm working on messaging and social media and all this stuff, and I've been really enjoying having my weekends. But the truth might be, just like it is in the rest of the culinary world, that chefs have to work when everybody else is playing, and it doesn't change even when you're a live stream chef. But I hope you're good, Chris. I hope Emily's good as well. What are you up to? Oh man, I love Fortnite too. I can't say I'm a Fortnite player. So with our oil on and heating, we might be able to start our lamb here in just a second. Not quite there. You know what you can do while you're waiting for everything to come to temperature, guys? If you have your milk and butter already measured out, as well as your white pepper and your salt that we're gonna be putting into our mashed potatoes. We've got that small pot set up on the stove behind the pot that we're gonna be doing the lamb in. I'm gonna fill that with milk and my butter and get my salt and pepper in there. And then all we need to do is turn that on very, very low and let that butter melt. We're not even looking to like simmer this at all. We don't need to cook it. It just needs to be melted together so that way we can easily pour it in with our potatoes once they're cooked and riced. This is our white pepper. 1/4 teaspoon of white pepper. I'm planning on cooking spatchcock next week. Good, I'm glad you're gonna join us for spatchcock. That's awesome, Chris. Now, I know that you had messaged me the other day. I have talked with some people that I speak with, or my mods, basically, the management team over in Ingrediology's Discord. And yeah, I'll get back to you about that. We don't need to discuss plans right here. But we will be doing a test of what you and I talked about, okay? Does that sound fair? Turn the sound off there. There we go. Okay. Look, so guys, take a look at our pan down here with the lamb, with all the oil in it. You see how we're starting to get streaks and it's starting to shimmer? That's how I know my oil is getting very hot. Also, that it's moving around like water. It's loose, right? It's not tight. It's not moving around like cold oil in the pan. It's hot. All right, so we can go in with our lamb. That's 2 pounds of ground lamb meat. And we're gonna be browning this off. And then once it's browned and rendered, we're gonna be throwing in our onions, and in that rendered lamb fat, we'll be taking those to a translucent, not really looking for any color. Then we're gonna add in our tomato paste. You do a method known as pinçaging. When you pinçage, it's just caramelizing the sugars that are inside of your tomato paste. And then we'll add in our garlic to cook quickly for about a minute. Then in goes the beef stock, okay? While we're waiting on our lamb to brown, we'll be stirring it occasionally. And then I'll be chopping up some herbs. Are you ready for the herbs? I'm your Huckleberry. Oh, that was a satisfying sizzle. You gotta wait for that sizzle, Aurora. You're right about that. It's quite satisfying. Go ahead and chop this up in the pan a little bit. Get it spread out. Now we can also add a little bit of salt to this. What is going on? Where did I put the salt? Oh, it's behind the bag of veggies. Season every step of the way. I'm your dingleberry. Get out of here. Well. Okay. Let's get our herbs chopped up. Back down here on 3. We've got our rosemary, which we are going to pick the leaves off of and then mince this up fine. In the end, you should have about a tablespoon of fresh minced rosemary for your shepherd's pie. So next month, everybody, we have coming up as our dessert class, the tiramisu. That's not next month, that's this month. Jeez, I'm losing track of my months. I can't believe that Remy's gonna be 5 months tomorrow, or next week. That's already blowing my mind. But is anybody gonna be attending our tiramisu class? I'm excited about that one. I never really make sweets at home, very rarely, if ever. And so by doing one dessert class a month, I can get a little sweet fix for the family. This month's tiramisu. All right, looks like our potatoes are starting to boil over a bit here, so we're gonna turn down our heat a skosh. And then here's a trick. I'm sure for those of you who are regulars on the stream, you'll already recognize this, but the starch is being released from the potatoes, which is what's allowing surface tension on the top to create bubbles. All right, by adding in a little bit of oil there to our pot, we are preventing the starches from creating more bubbles and boiling over. All right, that's the best way I found around this. We're already getting some stuff along the sides. That's okay. I turned my heat down to medium, and we're just letting this continue to simmer as it is. There we go. My favorite dessert, it is your favorite? Well, Aurora, you need to go over and check out the class guide, and you can learn how to make it. Let's go on the other side of the stove real quick. Lamb's continuing to brown off. I'm doing my best to multitask between the herbs, the potatoes, the lamb, everything we got going on right here. It's very important, though, this is our priority, that we don't burn the lamb. Herbs we can fit in other places. And we've already got our onions cut up and ready to go into the pan whenever our lamb's done browning, which should be in another 2 to 3 minutes. We'll be ready to toss in our onions, I'm thinking, for those of you cooking along with us at home. Hey, tiramisu has wronged me in the past, so I shall never eat it again. How has tiramisu wronged you? How could it wrong you? It's so good. Delicious whipped mascarpone cheese, cocoa powder, espresso and rum dipped ladyfingers. What's up, baby? You doing all right?
Yeah.
Oh, is he down? He's sleeping?
For now.
Oh, fantastic. Good, good. I'm glad. All right, here we have our rosemary. Let's go ahead and just take our knife and mince this up. Pieces the size of a grain of rice. That's what we're looking for.
Oh, he's not sleeping, by the way.
Of course he isn't. That's a trick that doesn't work with pasta, however, as it changes the qualities of the finished product. Fun fact. Actually, Aurora, I don't find that it does. I find that adding some oil to the water, it's not like it keeps it from sticking or interferes with it all, because it's just floating on the top of the water. It all drains out at the end. Now, you do want to, after you've drained your pasta from all that water, give it a little bit more oil to keep it from sticking together. A little bit of good quality olive oil will do it for you. Chris says hi, Meg. So is Aurora. She says hi, guys. She just ran out. She just ran upstairs to go see what Remy needed. He's awake in his bed. He's a good sleeper, though. Let's just say that when I tried to take a bite, all the dust on top flew into my lung and made me choke so hard, never again. Oh, so you approached a piece of tiramisu like, like that? You literally tried to inhale it? Well, all right. Don't do the cinnamon challenge either. I thought you were gonna say you got like food poisoning or something from it. That's just user error right there. I've definitely experienced that issue with my own pasta. If you cook the oil in the pot, the thicker noodles don't allow the sauce to cling as well, but only with fresh sauce. Interesting. Huh. Well, it's hard for me to breathe through my nose. Heard that, Kazumi. Let's take a look at our lamb real quick before we move on to our time. Give this a stir. We're almost there. We got a lot of liquid evaporating out of this. That's got to evaporate before we get to that browning stage, before the Maillard reaction starts taking place. Proteins start denaturing. Well, they've already started to denature, as you can tell by the lamb turning gray. But the amino acids responsible for the browning have not begun to brown yet. Potatoes, still going, looking delicious. We'll check those here in about 15 minutes. All right, so now we're down here with our thyme. We've got our fresh thyme on sprigs. I'm just gonna take and pull that in the opposite direction that the leaves of thyme grow out from. You can do this with your rosemary. You find a nice straight stem. Mine was a little, I don't know, coarse and discombobulated. So if I'm eating, I'm not breathing. Okay, I mean, yeah. I'm sorry. That sounds like it sucks. Just deep breaths in between bites. Deep breaths. How we doing, Taste Made? No one said a thing over here today. So if I'm eating, I'm not breathing. Yep, saw that. Heard that. Who else is online right now? Hey, congratulations. I've received 100 messages via Restream. I got a bunch of chatty Cathys in the chat, Restream is telling me, which I'm glad for. I like you guys talking to me. I get bored if people aren't talking to me. Might as well just record them, right? I'm working on the biscuit top chicken pot pie video right now, everybody. Editing that down. Man, editing. I'll tell you what. Boy, howdy, I don't know. No one's relating to this comedy. I get it. I think we're going to be ready to put our onions here into lamb shortly, so make sure that if you're browning off your lamb with me, you've got those onions that we've already diced up here on standby, ready to go into our lamb. Like I said momentarily, we're going to give it like another minute, okay? Let's develop some color on that meat. How busy do you find you can get and still function easily in your kitchen? I find that doing Thanksgiving dinner on a time crunch stretches my capacity for being nice inside discussions. Well, I think you guys can tell on stream when I'm getting overloaded, because I do definitely talk less to you all in chat when there's a lot of things going on. But you know, managing a single meal like this is fine. I can have potatoes going and lamb browning and chop up my herbs and stuff all at the same time. Anything more than like 4 things is when things start to get hazy. Is where I stop talking for sure. Is when we hit 4. That's when my ADHD brain just can't handle it anymore and has to hyper focus on the cooking alone. All right, we do not need to mince up this thyme right here. And we're just gonna take our minced rosemary and our thyme leaves. Oh, look at that, you almost snuck in. You almost got in. I caught you. Little stem hanging out. All right, and our thyme leaves can go in. Ooh, boy. Guys, if you're just joining us here on this week's Wednesday weeknight dinner on Ingrediology, my name's Logan. I'm glad that you're here. We're making shepherd's pie today. So we've already got our potatoes going on the stove. We've got lamb browning off on the other side of the stove. We're about to add our onions down. On the back burner there, we've got 12 ounces of milk, 4 tablespoons of unsalted butter, and then we just finished chopping up our herbs that we're going to be needing to add into our gravy here for the filling of our shepherd's pie later on. All right, now it's time to go over here to the stove and add in our onions that we've been talking about. So let's give this a stir. See all this grease down here at the bottom? You see some of the color that we got coming up off of our lamb. Lamb is not a very fatty meat, but the fat that has rendered off of this at the bottom is going to be just enough to saute our onions in. So let's do that now. What other desserts would you suggest? Kazumi, what would you like to see us do? What's your favorite dessert that you don't choke on the dust of? Deirdre! Hello, Deirdre, and hello to Tastemade. Could you use a cast iron skillet all the way through baking? Yeah, you absolutely could, Deirdre. You absolutely could. So doing the sauteing and browning of our lamb and onion and getting the gravy going, pinching our tomatoes, and then just piping your potatoes directly on top of that cast iron and then putting it into the oven. That's gonna be just fine. Yeah, you absolutely can do that. Now today, I'm gonna be using a roasting pan for mine. So I've got like a ceramic casserole dish. It's not a roasting pan, it's a ceramic casserole dish that I'm gonna be putting my gravy into and then piping over the top. I just like the look of the dish better, but cast iron would look good too. Nice and rustic. All right, let's give our onions a stir. And Deirdre, I'm glad you reminded me because I should get out that ceramic casserole right now. Why wait? Why bang around when I really am in need of it? I'm gonna just pull it out here. So this is what I'm gonna be using today. Boop, boop. Rusty, is Rusty in here? Hover, what's up, Sarah? Great to see you, my dear. My wife's favorite meal, is it Rusty? Say hello to Lady Naginata for me. I hope you're doing well, my friend. How are things out in Rhode Island, buddy? Okay. This can go off to the side. We're gonna get our mixed vegetables down into a bowl. I'm just using regular, run-of-the-mill, frozen mixed vegetables. You can go through the trouble of cutting up green beans and corn and carrots, but honestly, the difference in quality that you're gonna see between the frozen variety of mixed vegetables I'm using and if you were to use fresh yourself is gonna be negligible compared to the work that you're gonna save by just opening a bag. And we want to have simple, approachable recipes here. I mean, sure, go all out, have absolutely everything fresh. You're not going to damage the recipe in any way by doing so. But it is a little easier just grabbing it out of the frozen section. Here's the lamb. Oh boy. Oh boy. Now while we're waiting for our onions to finish over there, to get nice and translucent. Our onions are gonna go from a raw white onion, like right when we cut it, to more of a translucent, to like opaqueness. Think of like stained glass. They're not gonna be clear, right? But they're not gonna be like bright white anymore. They're gonna have that little bit of translucency around the edges of your onion. And when we get that is when we're going to add in our tomato paste to our lamb. So we got maybe another minute. In the meantime, I'm going to chop up our chives. Now I've already gone ahead and I've washed up these chives. The easiest way to do this is just gather them all up in a bunch. Take any wilted, wet, or greasy looking ones out of here. I went through these earlier. There we go. And then we just want very, very thin, 1/8 of an inch thick things of chives. 1/8 of an inch thick sliced chives. These are just gonna be fine little specks all throughout our mashed potatoes. I used to have to do a couple of pounds of these a day at Seasons. They're great, my man. No complaints. Good to see ya. Hey, Grumpy Bear. Just stalking you. We love reasonable shortcuts to save yourself. Good. Good. Miss Atlantis Sims, welcome to the stream. I hope you're doing great. Happy Wednesday. Don't talk to Snake Eye Rusty. Just don't. There we go. 1/4 cup of thinly sliced chives. I think it might be your first stream of the year too, Ms. Lannis. Glad that you're here. Ooh, so pineapple upside down cake. What else did you say, Kazumi? Because I think I might have missed it. A giant cream puff. Ooh, creme brulee. Creme brulee is actually on the docket. Why don't we do creme brulee in April, Kazumi? That's actually very straightforward, very simple. We're starting to stick here on the bottom. Let's turn our heat down just a skosh. Can't get too distracted by chat. Now the bottom of my pan is a little dark, not burned. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to give it a tiny bit of beef stock. And in case this happens to you at home, you can use this as well. Tiny little bit of beef stock to kind of loosen the more stuck on bits here on the bottom. And then once this beef stock is mostly evaporated and we're back to just the fat that's simmering away in the pan, then I'll add in my tomato paste and we'll caramelize our tomato paste. Again, I'm just doing this, guys, because we're starting to get some sticking on the bottom. It's not burned by any means, but I do know that if I continue to cook, especially at this temperature, then it will eventually burn before my tomato paste is completely caramelized. So I want to get this lifted off the bottom of my pan, reincorporate it with the meat, so that way, while I'm caramelizing my tomato paste, the rest of the pan doesn't end up turning up too dark to be usable. We're creating fond, F-O-N-D. Fond is a French word meaning foundation. See how clean the bottom of my pan is now? Now we can start in with the tomato paste. There you go, like a different angle. See how our onions are translucent, the lamb is browned, my hand is shaky, and the bottom of our pan is clear. Now we're going to add in our 3 tablespoons of tomato paste. So down here on the board, I've got these 3 tablespoons. We're going to toss that in. Don't do anything on my accord. No, but it's actually a really good recipe, a really good dessert recipe, Kazumi, for people to start out with. I'm dreading shoveling right now. And deglaze. Yes, and deglaze, Aurora. Oh, let's go. Let's get back to the pan. Tomato paste. Get that in there. Now grab that spatula, and let's just work this all the way around the pan. We want to get this incorporated with our meat so that it starts browning. We don't want to have just a patch where the tomato paste is at. And this will redistribute itself along the bottom of the pan as those sugars begin to caramelize from our tomatoes. Yes, tomatoes have many natural sugars, if you didn't know. If you don't know, now you know, Wiggle. Spread out in an even layer, give it a second to caramelize on the bottom. Ooh, creme brulee donuts. Ooh, that's not a bad idea. How can you tell if you've cooked your ground meat? How can you tell if you've cooked your ground meat too long to the point of it being dry without tasting it? Well, what's going to happen is it's going to have no moisture in the pan. It's going to have just the fat rolling around in there, and it's going to be very brown. All right, did you remember earlier when we were cooking our lamb and there were a lot of bubbles going on, liquid bubbles, not oil or fat bubbles going on in the pan? That told me that there was a lot of excess moisture in there. If there's no excess moisture and it's looking very much like the pan does now, pretty dry and very brown, then you might have gone a little too far. But really, when we're cooking ground meat like this, it's gonna be in a gravy. I'm not concerned about the dryness of my meat because I'm gonna have mixed vegetables and a beef stock based gravy that's gonna be enwrapping all of it. So dryness doesn't even come in as a factor for me. Now, if I was serving like hamburgers, I always wanna cook my hamburgers to about medium, maybe medium well, because otherwise if you go well done, just like with any kind of meat, it's gonna be dry, as you said, and just overcooked, not good, right? Oh, you like my CIA textbook? The CIA, what I find hilarious about this, because I needed this for a recipe the other week. There's a CIA professional chef cookbook, but then it's right next to a box of minute rice. And I really enjoy the irony of that. Oh. Well, we've got everything cut up. We should probably check our potatoes. Take a look at the lamb one more time. Go here. Ad hoc, what's going on, my man? Let's get a shout out for ad hoc food, please. Oh, that's who said that. Oh, nice. What's up, Dan? Good to see you, brother. Orcapaka, I was wondering something today. Tomatoes are a fruit. I was wondering something today. Tomatoes are a fruit, and they have plenty of natural sugars. So why did it turn out to be exclusively in savory foods, and strawberry get to be in sweet foods? Though I'm a huge fan of having strawberries in savory foods too. I mean, I think someone put basil and tomatoes together and we're like, it's over, it's done. Close up shop, boys. We're not doing anything else. But there's so many wonderful ways in which to use tomato. I couldn't tell you from a historical perspective exactly why it's like that. Guys, look at the bottom of our pan right now. Look how we've begun to redevelop a fond on the bottom here. You know what I didn't do? I didn't get the garlic cut up. Speed garlic, speed garlic. Take your cloves, put them out on your board, everybody. Give them a pop, just to loosen the skin. We're gonna be mincing these up finely. That pop is gonna let us peel these down. And then we're gonna hit them one more time. And mince them up real finely, okay? There we go. That was a tough one. I said speed garlic and it's not going too speedy. As a half-slat Chinese person, I'm slightly insulted. I don't remember what I said, Aurora. Okay, cool. Sometimes my meat just gets the texture of pencil erasers. Ketchup is sweet. Yeah. I definitely don't eat ketchup. You won't see me using it in any desserts either. Ketchup's also used in savory foods. You're right about that, Orcapaka. I think it's the government. Another fun fact. Kechap is the Malay word for sauce. It doesn't necessarily have to be made from tomatoes in Asia, and in fact was primarily not made of tomatoes when first brought to the West. Interesting. So ketchup has its roots as a Malaysian word. I was unaware of that. Neat. What a neat fact. Oh, okay. Fond still looking good. Remember what I said earlier, guys. Fond is golden brown. Fond is not black. Carbon is black, and nobody wants to eat that. Oh, the insult was from the minute rice. Oh, I see. Yeah. Yeah, I was making one of my mom's recipes the other day, and it called for minute rice. You gotta make it the way mom used to make it. Otherwise, what's the point? I'm doing it for nostalgia purposes, not for culinary purposes. Banana ketchup really is great stuff. I have never tried banana ketchup, although I've seen it around. Banana ketchup is godly. I mean, how's it differ from regular ketchup? I mean, other than having bananas in it, I swear to God, I already know what you guys are typing into the chat boxes. Is it sweeter? Does it have extra spices? Mince up our garlic after we slice it down. Just take your knife and run it through a couple of times. Tiny little pieces. That's what we're looking for. And then we're gonna give it a minute in with our tomato paste and lamb and onions before then adding in our beef stock, our herbs, and our slurry. A slurry is gonna be that cornstarch and water mixture. It's a thickening agent. It's sweeter. It's really good on eggs. It's got bananas in it, Logan. Jeez, I knew you were gonna say something like that. I knew it! You're just gonna have to buy a bottle. You know, I gotta go to H Mart here later this week. Maybe I'll pick up a bottle of banana ketchup to try out with you guys sometime. How's that sound? Not only does it have bananas in it, it doesn't have tomatoes. And in goes the garlic. Oh, so guys, this is a game of brinksmanship right here. This is how dark can I get my fond without burning it. The darker and more effectively you can caramelize the sugars that are in your tomatoes, the more flavor, the dark, rich gravy flavor you're gonna be able to develop inside the filling of our shepherd's pie itself. This is an important step. Now, I've turned my heat down to like a medium low at this point to slow down the cooking of my tomato paste to allow me time to mince up my garlic. If you had your garlic ready to go a couple of minutes ago, you could keep it riding on medium. I'm gonna turn it back up to medium. Anyway, I'm off to study for finals. I'll see you around Orcapaka. Thank you for joining us here this Wednesday. Good luck on the finals. Study hard. I hope you do well. Sorry, okay? My fiance's mom makes really yummy Filipino spaghetti with banana ketchup soy sauce. Huh. Do you have the recipe, Kazumi? Can we try it out? Down here on the board, guys, we have the makings of our slurry. Okay, so a slurry, for this slurry, we're gonna be doing is 1 tablespoon of cornstarch and 2 tablespoons of water. It's a 2-to-1 ratio. And we just add these in here together without the chive. You can just take your finger and combine that, all right? It will separate. You guys ever make oobleck in school? We always called it oobleck or goop or what have you. You know what, before I get off on a tangent, let's check our lamb. All right, there we go. That is as far as I am willing to go here on the fond. It is looking deep, deep golden brown right here. Hold on, let's get a better view with the iPhone. There we go. And so now we just add in our beef stock. And all that fond gets lifted up off the bottom of our pan and incorporated into our sauce. This is the power of caramelizing tomato paste, people. Now, what I want you to do is take and scrape across the entire bottom of this pan. We need to lift all this fond off the bottom of the pan. If we leave it there and we don't scrape it, it's just gonna burn, as we said before. A rubber spatula will be just fine for this. You can use a metal spatula if you'd like. If you're using a metal spatula, make sure you don't have any burn spots, because you don't want to incorporate that in. That's looking good. Now, my heat is still on a medium. We're gonna add in our herbs. So here comes that. This, again, is gonna be our tablespoon of thyme leaves, our tablespoon of minced rosemary leaves, and then 1/4 teaspoon of rubbed sage. Let's give it a couple of grinds of pepper too, just to be safe, just to be safe. And some salt. Nice 4-finger pinch of salt. We're gonna incorporate all that back in together, guys. Whew. Now, we need to add in our mixed veggies. What is this? Man, this makes me wary of specialty ketchups. I can't do wine, grapes, or mini vinegars. Balsamic is made for grapes. Oh, because you're allergic to grapes? Or interesting. However, thanks for the Ko-Fi shout out. I appreciate you. But then it's white wine vinegar, soy sauce, and brown sugar, and spices. Interesting, Aurora. I just learned that banana ketchup was invented during World War II in the Philippines due to a shortage of tomatoes. Yeah, I did know that story about it, that World War II did have an influence on it because they weren't actually able to make ketchup anymore, and so they turned to the banana recipe. Look at all that garlic on the side of the pan. We got some garlic hanging out here? Oh, you're right. You're right. That's in a little bit of a blind spot for me, so thank you. There we go. Let's get that back down in there. What am I thinking? Goodness gracious. We're gonna add in our frozen veggies. This is gonna add in some liquid to our pan. Just add to the moisture that's in the gravy. Once these are thawed out, cooking away nicely, we're gonna add in that slurry. Now, I used beef stock in this recipe, guys, but you can use lamb stock if you have lamb stock laying around. I don't have lamb stock laying around, and I don't typically find it too often. But if you can, more power to you. Please, please use it. Oh, look at that big brain on bread. Thank you, I was getting really triggered. How much sriracha goes in this recipe? No sriracha, Snake Eye, goes in this recipe, unless you add it on afterwards, okay? I hear nothing. If it were me, there'd be a good dab. Good dab of sriracha in there, Aurora. How many bottles? I mean, I have 1 bottle of sriracha right now. How many bottles do you have, Snake Eye? Whew, let's do a 2-minute tidy. The only thing that we really should have left out right now, guys, is gonna be a bowl to rice our potatoes into. You're gonna need the pan that you plan on cooking your shepherd's pie in. You're gonna want your pastry bag with a piping tip, which I didn't get out. Sorry guys, I had the baby until about 5 minutes before we went live, so I got as much stuff as I could get set before the stream, but clearly not all of it. I have to pull out my, there we go. There's my tip and piping bag. And then everything else can go off to the side. I'm putting a lid on top of the shepherd's pie. Real quick, like I said, those frozen vegetables are just thawing and they're adding some water back into our gravy, which is fine because we're gonna be adding in our slurry here in a little bit. So this all thickens up nicely. What we're really concerned about at the moment is gonna be our potatoes. So guys, your potatoes should have been simmering away inside this pot. We need to check their doneness, and then we need to send them through a ricer. There we go. So here's the potatoes. We want these to, when poked with a knife, slide right back off. Get out of here, Kazumi. I do sriracha face peels. It's wonderful for the skin. That sounds awful, Snake Eye. I don't believe you. Our potatoes are sliding right off the knife when inserted, so we're ready to pull these, folks. Get a strainer set up in the sink. Coming in hot. Kill the heat underneath your potato pan, and then we are going to put these through the ricer, everybody. Back down here on the board, we've got our potatoes. We've got our bowl with our potatoes. We've got our ricer. So this is our ricer, everybody. If you've not used a ricer before, it's this little hinged piece of equipment, has a grate down at the bottom of it, a sieve, whatever you want to call it. And then what happens is you put whatever material that you want to puree, basically, and it's not puree, puree is different, but chop up into fine little bits or make smooth, like our potatoes that we have here today, into there, into the pocket, and then you just close it and it presses it all out the end. So that's how we're gonna get these beautifully fluffy, extremely smooth potatoes this afternoon. I love whipped potatoes like this. So, spoon would be good. I just like setting it over the bowl. It's got a nice little thingy right here. It's got like a nice little edge that I can set on the other side. And then we just fill this with potatoes. Potatoes. Flip it over. Blah. And we'll just keep doing this till we're all the way through. Make sure you remove the extra plates from the ricer this time, Logan. You know what, Hover? I think I did. I may have left them in. That was tough going when I had both plates stuck in there. It was even smaller. There we go. Now, after we get our potatoes through the ricer, everybody, the next step we're gonna do is turn the broiler on in our oven to 500 degrees. Because after we've made up our mashed potatoes, we got them in our piping bag and they're ready to be put on top of our gravy. Then we'll need to spray it with a little bit of oil and toss it under the broiler to brown up. Why would I have a nice edge, Kazumi? A nice edge at what? Hey guys, if you're just joining us here on Ingrediology, our Wednesday weeknight dinner this week is going to be shepherd's pie. You've caught us in the midst of making this. It is a delicious browned lamb and rich gravy mixed with vegetables, thyme, rosemary, sage, and topped with creamy mashed potatoes, which is what we're doing right now. If you'd like to make this along with us, then go over to ingrediology.org or just hit !recipe here in chat as a command, and it will shoot you back the link where you can find the web page that has the equipment list, the recipes, nutritional information. The ingredient list of the recipe plugin actually functions as a shopping list with checkboxes and whatnot. It's very handy. It's very handy. Go check that out. All this stuff is up for free, everybody. There we go. And last scoop. Aija Kazumi. Thank you, Aver. Hi, Jesse. Welcome in. Great to have you here. How you been spending your week so far? Oh, baby. Delicious. So we're done with our ricer. All our potatoes have been passed through there. I'm going to keep this pot out because it's larger than the bowl that I have right now. And it's going to be easier to incorporate our milk and whatnot in there. Now, before we start making our potatoes, as I said, we need to go turn on the broiler on our oven. .500 degrees will do it. And make sure you have a rack in your oven that's set up in the middle part. Not too close. You don't want it on the top rack. The middle's perfectly fine. And then let's go ahead and add in our slurry for our filling here. So this is a mixture of 1 tablespoon cornstarch and 2 tablespoons water, which we're going to pour in here, and it's going to thicken all those juices and gravy and whatnot that we have and help our shepherd's pie to stand up nicely. Now it's the simmering action of our liquid, which is going to thicken that sauce. If you add in a slurry to something and it's not bubbling, it's not at the proper temperature to be simmering, then it won't activate and it won't thicken your sauce. So you have to bring it to a boil for your sauce to thicken. Now you can also use arrowroot, which is another thickening agent like cornstarch. And I believe the ratio is similar, if not the same, as 1 part arrowroot, 2 parts water. You'll get a similar result to a cornstarch slurry like this, if you only have arrowroot and no cornstarch. I think it's much more likely you have cornstarch than you have arrowroot, but just saying. If you are that one person in that situation. Oh, yes. I'm actually going to turn my heat down to low here, recover this, and just allow it to simmer out. Now, back down here on the board, I've got my potatoes, which I'm going to put into the pot. Boop, 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 boop. Over on the stove, guys, behind our lamb pan, you can see that we have that milk, butter, white pepper, and salt simmering away on the stove. That's this bad boy right here. Let's bring that off. We're gonna add that now into our potatoes. Give it a stir just to mix it up. Ooh, yeah. I always like to melt my butter and heat up my milk before making my mashed potatoes, because otherwise you're just cooling it down, and especially if you intend to serve your mashed potatoes immediately after, you're just adding cold milk into your potatoes. Let's get that all incorporated. And add in the rest. Now, also coming into play is going to be our chives. So these thinly sliced chives, that's going in with our whipped potatoes. Creamy. Creamy beige. Sorry, that was it. Did anybody else get that old Greg joke? Just me? Okay. Cool. Oh, they're so creamy, so soft. Let's taste these real quick. Get a spoon out. They use a little bit of salt. Yeah, let's get some salt in there. Okay. Now we need to transfer our potatoes into our piping bag fitted with our star tip. And once we got that done, we can move our shepherd's pie into our casserole dish, top it with the potatoes, and then broil it in the oven. I mean, I said an estimated class time of 2 hours here, but we're gonna be in the oven in probably in an hour, because I talk a lot up here at the front. So let's say I started cooking like, at 3:20, and it's now like 4:17. So here we go. We got our piping tip down at the bottom of the bag here. We're just we're gonna cuff the top part of our bag. Makes it easier to fill it up with our potatoes. Logan thinks he's a comedian, but he lacks a funny bone. This dude looks like he uses instant mashed potatoes. Randy, welcome to the stream. I don't use instant mashed potatoes. You take those words back. Oh boy. I swear I don't even have to do innuendos most of the time. You could totally do OnlyPans on your own. OnlyPans. OnlyPans is available. It's an available website. They want $1,500 for it. I've been telling everybody in the food and drink community here over on Twitch that we should all pool our money in together and then have an OnlyPans site and raise money for St. Jude's, but do sexy food and drink calendars. Lots of taters, okay? Lots of potatoes. Mash them, boil them, put them over shepherd's pie. Tell Ellieface's friend C# fits. Oh yeah? Would Fitz do it? I mean, I've seen Fitz around in Ellie's chat. Love me some Ellieface. Randy, I hope you're recovering well, my friend. I'd ship you some shepherd's pie if I could. All right. Ooh, big old bag of potatoes. Just wind that up. Fritzy, as a prankster, has been known to purchase a domain name before. All right, maybe I do need to hit him up. Oh, boom. We're back over here on the stove. For the moment, we're going to be putting our gravy into our pan right here. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Guys, taste made. People who are cooking along with us at home. Is everybody doing okay? Not had any direct questions about what we're doing on the dish here yet. I take that as a sign that I'm explaining everything fairly well. If that's not true, please tell me. And if you guys need some help, don't hesitate to let me know. Okay. So the first thing I'm gonna do is just give the interior of my casserole dish a little spray with some Pam. Just some cooking spray. And then we're gonna pour in our mixture, our lamb filling right here. This smells so good, guys. then just spread this out in an even layer across your casserole dish. And Deirdre, if you plan to do all this in a cast iron, you don't need to do this transfer. You can just pipe that directly into my gullet now. Done. I'm doing this like backwards. There we go. Let's do another line. Hopefully that looks better. We're just going to put a layer all the way around the top of our filling here. Last time I made shepherd's pie, Aurora, Megan was eating directly out of the piping bag. So it has been done before. Whew! Hot! It's so hot on my hands. I've not worked in a kitchen in like 2 years, guys. My hands are getting soft. I'm a keyboard boy now. God. I'm a keyboard warrior. Look at this. Hell yeah. Now with your oven preheated at the broiler setting, going to wash the additional pans to make sure the tomato paste is really caramelized. Glad I watched you first. Hey, I am too, Deirdre. I am too. Okay, that can go over there. Now our final step before getting this into the oven, everybody, is breaking out that Pam spray one last time. Pam, not a sponsor, never will be a sponsor, but that's okay. We're gonna give that a shake, and then just give me a light dusting all across the top. Right, this little bit of oil is gonna help the tops of our potatoes brown while under the broiler. Are we broiled? Are we? That feels good. Let's go into the oven. Huh? And it just like slides out of the pan. Ooh, that's hot on the bottom. Okay. Our broiler is on. Potatoes are in there. Middle rack. I didn't get that shot, so it's because I didn't switch cameras. I'm an idiot. It's okay. There, I like how it jumped there right at the very end. Ha! Okay, ladies and gentlemen, that is gonna be the recipe instructions here for our shepherd's pie. We're gonna let this bake in the oven for about 15 to 20 minutes. Keep a close eye on this though, okay? Keep a very close eye, checking about every 5 minutes, making sure that nothing's getting overly done on the top. You just want a nice golden brown across the top of your potatoes. Again, just like the fond, we don't want this to be black. We don't want any of it to be carbonized, okay? We just want it to be nice and golden brown. Professional streamer. I know, Aurora, I know. I know. I've only been doing this for a couple of years, you know. I barely know what I'm doing. Whew. For those of you who might be checking out here on Tastemade at this point, then please Remember that we're going to be doing classes weekly here on Wednesdays. We'd love to host you again. These are totally free and open to the public. I do ask that if you know of other people, or you participate in Facebook groups, or you have a Reddit, or you're out there engaging with other kinds of food content in a community that's larger than Tastemates, I would really appreciate it if you share some of my stuff. Share a class link, share a link to one of my YouTube videos. That's really the only payment I need. Now, if you would like to contribute financially to the stream, you can do so over at Ko-Fi. Ko-Fi is a website, much like Patreon, that allows me to accept donations from the public to help pay for groceries and website hosting fees and cameras and everything else that goes on here. What is going on? Kanara, you're coming right in here. Oh, that's amazing. I appreciate you. Welcome, everybody. Happy Wednesday to you. We were just closing off our Tastemate stream. Tastemate, we're not getting offline yet. Please feel free to hang out and throw questions in the chat down here. You don't have to go. This is usually the point where a lot of people check out. But what'd you guys make over on Kanara's stream? Kanara, it is so lovely to see you. You know what I got to do? You know what I didn't do, Kanara? I had a picture, and I need to send it to you. I need to send you a picture of Remy because it's actually quite lovely. Thank you so much for the follows here, everyone. I really appreciate you. Hello, hello, what we got going on? Jay Burner, the little dino boy, Southern Texas Toast. I appreciate you guys being here. Happy Wednesday. If you guys have never joined me here before on stream, my name's Logan. This is Ingrediology. We do these weekly cooking classes with you. I'm a chef instructor, and this is what I've done for years and years now. Taught thousands of people in hundreds of classes, not just online, most of them IRL, but with Corona, we moved entirely online. Period Justice, Veda Bear, thank you also for the follows here, guys. What'd you guys do on Kanara's stream? Like I was saying, we're making shepherd's pie today, everybody. If you'd like to make this recipe that I've made here today on stream, you can hit !recipe in chat, and that will take you over to ingrediology.org and show you the class guide, which has the list of equipment that you need to use for this class. It has a shopping list, it has nutritional information, all the instructions that you need. And then after we've done the class, I upload the YouTube videos to that page as well, so you guys can walk along in an edited, abbreviated form. What's up, guys? Thank you, Hubbard. Thanks for tossing that in the chat. Love food instructions. Well, Jay, you came to the right place. That's what we do here on Ingrediology. What do you like to cook, Jay? What are some of your favorite foods to eat? I will tell everybody for nothing that we do have other classes coming up here for the remainder of March. We're going to be making spatchcock chicken next week. The week after that, we're making a very mushroomy meatloaf, and we're going to be doing tiramisu for our last class here in March. Again, if you'd like to make any of those recipes or even get ready ahead of time and cook along here in class with me, you can go to ingrediology.org, check out those class guides, okay? All those recipes are up, ready and waiting for you. Kanara, I got to be honest, I was getting ready to pop a beer and hang out with the people that I had hanging out here in chat, and then you just bring your party over. Thank you for the follow, Girly Doe, Rumpelstiltskin, Chris Swearigan, who just followed again for some reason. Yep, Finvar, I appreciate you being here. Thank you for the follow. Guys, what's going on? And again, what did you make over on Kanara's stream? Keen Crafts, hope you're doing well, Logan. Keen, Keen, have you switched? This is Keen Kitchen, right, that I was talking to? You're now King Crafts? What are you crafting, my friend? Thank you for the links and everything. I just like the attention. Heard, that's fair, Chris. That's fair. Hey there, Sway. Oh man, guys. I was doing the final closing plug for the shepherd's pie before we let all of our Tastemate people go. Guys, are we doing good? Deirdre? You're doing good over here still? Let me show everybody what I got going on in the oven. We just put our shepherd's pie in the oven under the broiler. It's at 500 degrees in the broiler, and we're just letting those chive mashed potatoes that are resting on top of our lamb in gravy with mixed vegetables, rich gravy. It's gonna be amazing in about 15 minutes, okay? 15 minutes, about enough time to drink a beer and catch up with you guys over here? Yes, update to the name, it is more fitting. So what are you crafting, Keen? Nerdy Shell, she cooked up food from Blanche of the Ghost. So what is, I know that you were doing a Golden Girls theme here, Kanara, which I think is absolutely fabulous. What kind of recipes are you choosing for each Golden Girl? For instance, what was Blanche? I missed all the steps before this. So, Jay, My apologies. Like I said, you guys rolled in here right as we were popping our shepherd's pie into the oven. But you can go to the website, you can find all those recipe steps and recreate this for yourself at home. And I do take all these videos and edit them down into more digestible, recipe-focused steps and post them over on YouTube. We've already got our churros and spiced chocolate over on the YouTube channel. And what was the other one we just uploaded? Mussels and puttanesca, which we did in February. Both those classes are uploaded on the YouTube channel if you'd like to make those as well, all right? I'm a leather crafter. If you take a look at Kanara's apron, oh, you made Kanara's apron, Keen. That's awesome. As well as a lot of other goods. I guess I have to read. You don't have to. You just gotta wait like a 2 or 3 weeks for me to finally get finished editing the YouTube videos. Made cornbread, bourbon glazed carrots, and a kind of hash. Oh, very nice. Very Blanche. What were we watching? Blanche. So Blanche was, that's the same woman who played Maude in Maude, the TV show, right? Am I correct in that? I don't know the actress's name. It's not because I don't care. It's like Megan holds all of the pop culture names in her head. None of that filters through to me. And she's not here right now. Bless your heart. Bless my heart for the comment I made about Blanche, or just the, you know, the compliment that I paid you about your leather working. You're a real leather boy, Keen. Oh, you like that leather? I bet you do. Cheers. Salud. Slancha. Cover Sweat, nope. The one who was the popular one. She was rich and had an awesome pad in Florida. Dorothy was Maude. B. Arthur. Yes, B. Arthur. Thank you, Sway. You're the only person giving the answer I'm looking for here. I have no idea who these people are. She was man crazy. Hello from your burner account. Logan the Wogan. Welcome to the stream. Happy Wednesday to you, my friend. I'm glad that you're here. Blanche was played by Rue McCallaghan, who was also in Maude, right? At least for a short time. Because I remember her being in an episode. I'd never seen Maude. And then like over Thanksgiving, my mother's like the biggest fan of what's the over-the-air old television, MeTV. She watches all those old shows. I'd never seen Maude and it came on. I was like, oh, this is actually really funny. It's legitimately funny. Like sometimes you go back to these old shows and they're corny and like they're just not good. Written maybe for the time or even at the time they were bad. But Maude was actually really funny. I liked it a lot. I'm a Maude fan. Don't even try to figure out Golden Girls. I haven't. I haven't watched a lot of Golden Girls. I can't speak intelligently on the subject of Golden Girls. She's a Southern Belle, and one of the younger ones also. Exactly, King. Yeah, so she was in Maude for an episode at least one episode. Thank you so much for the follow, by the way. Electric Flatulence. Cheers to you. Welcome to the stream. Glad you're here. Logan, you legend. Kyle, you absolute legend. It's so great to see. Can we get a shout out if we haven't already? I think Sway already got Kanara, but for Kanara and for a date night in, two amazing fellow food and drink streamers here on the Twitch platform. Two ladies that you are not going to regret dropping that follow button for, okay? Kyle, what have you been up to? What have you been making here lately on stream? Kyle, I just started doing TikToks. Are you proud of me? I started like uploading TikToks and stuff. Doing some kitchen duty. Kanara, you're good. I figured that's how I am. When I get to the end of a stream and I raid out, I'm like, okay, time to close it up. Time to like shut everything down. I'm so tired of talking at this point. I have a headache behind my eyes from just being on for multiple hours. I just want to clean some dishes and get done. So you do your thing. All right. You have endless amounts of grace from me, my dear. So meatloaf, Jay, what's that in reference to? To meatloaf. We are going to be making meatloaf on, what's that going to be? Today's the 9th. The 16th is going to be spatchcock chicken. The 23rd is going to be mushroomy meatloaf. Is that right? I believe that's the correct dates. Logan, let's go. Killing it. Saw an Instagram reel of yours the other day. Loving the style. Thank you. That was my first pass, Kyle. That was my first pass. I got another one coming here this week. What's like, once you finally start taking the time, I'm so stupid for not having done this in the previous 2 years. Once you start taking the time to go back through the recordings of your old episodes and edit them down for content and like pulling out tips and funny parts and whatnot, like the social media game is not as hard anymore. I find it so intimidating on like Instagram and Facebook and TikTok. I'm not the person who's involved deeply with social media. I'm a big consumer of it. I'm not a huge producer of the kind of content that really gets legs on platforms like Instagram and TikTok. But I'm finding it much easier just using Premiere and picking a style. I have hundreds of hours of recorded video that I just have on a hard drive that I need to start going and picking through, taking the time to go through. And now that we're not doing boxes, I actually have the time to go and do it. Blob, welcome to the stream. It's great to see you guys. Can someone just sit next to Blob, please? Make sure he doesn't touch any knives. I'm actually gonna take these knives over the sink because Blob's here. Instagram is super reels driven lately. Exactly. I know, I got like 3,900 views off that first video that I put up. I was like, what? Why haven't I been doing this? Negan, can we get a shout out for Chef Negan as well, everybody? What's up, guys? Good. All the cool people just came in with that raid. What's up, everybody? Time to take out the meatloaf. Not quite. I should actually probably put a timer on for this. Nope, we're not even close to being done there. We've got shepherd's pie in the broiler right now, everybody. Also, hey, Logan. Hey, Negan. What's good? Guys, make sure you're following Chef Negan over on her channel. Blob teleports to Neg's lap. What you been up to, Negan? What you been cooking here lately? We got Kanara, we got Negan, we got Kyle from Date Night In here. Engagement way above TikTok. Yeah, apparently. Who's going to TwitchCon? Raise your hand. Raise your hand if you're going to TwitchCon, because we need to start planning out when and where we're gonna meet up out in San Diego. What I'd like to do is get us together and do like a stream night from a kitchen, you know, do a food and drink where like we got a bunch of different food and drink creators all together. Just do like an all night stream, just making food and all sorts of crazy stuff. Oh, just doing a bunch of mod meals this month. Omu rice, ooh, Omu rice. That is gonna be, wait, are we thinking of the same thing? Is Omu rice the thing that has like the omelet over the top of it that you split and it like falls open? Is that Omu rice? Or am I thinking of something different? What's Omu rice? I mean, we can check it out right now. Pardon me. Yes, okay, so that's Omu rice. That's the Japanese rice omelet. What is going on? Why isn't this showing? There we go. And then we go here, right? Yes? No? Anyways. Videos. Uh-oh. Camera just shut off. That's not good. This is your fault, Negan. Okay? Don't be opening any portals above my head. My kitchen might just be in San Diego. San Diego. That's right. So TwitchCon, Chris, is in San Diego this year. Got this person who's way too happy. Just show me a video of the Omu rice. For those who don't know, it's a Japanese omelet. You make it with chopsticks. Why do you have an ad right there? It's very delicate. This is one of the most difficult omelets you can make. He is the master of Omu rice. Okay, all right, heard that, Negan. I'll be there. I was gonna come down and camp, but not sure about the con itself. My kitchen might just be, yep. I have perfect hair and head shape. Hey, look at that flip. Yeah, so while it's like still half cooked inside, flip that down. Now see, I've not seen omu rice with anything inside of the omelet. Is this the right thing? This is a different one you were watching. Oh, okay. Secret techniques of cooking omu rice. Oh, I see. So we need to go forward a little bit. And that's where they finish the omelet. And then these are all the different types of omelets that he makes. Okay, that's not exactly what I'm thinking about. But this person's apparently the master. Eggs 101. Wow, this has a vidIQ score of 100. Good for this guy. Anyways. What link? Oh, hold on. Thank you. Thank you, Negan. Ah, okay. So this is what we're supposed to do, says Negan. Same guy. How to make the chicken. So you put the chicken, do the Salt Bay thing, apparently. Get the omelet going. He has purple hair. Okay, let's go to the final plating. So with the omelet, after you got it mostly done, go to 6.5 minutes. Don't tell me how to drive my van. Hover, thank you. Check the oven. Guys, appreciate this omu rice. Ooh. Ooh. Nope, we're not quite there. You're just gonna split it right down the middle there. Oh. You gotta have eggs a little bit runny. And this is not just a little bit. This is like half runny, but it's still delicious, I bet. So, Negan, what's special about the rice inside? Maybe I should try that one instead of another souffle. Jane Henry, Jane, good to have you here. Can we get a shout out for Jane Henry, please? Be sure you're following her channel here on Twitch, everybody. Another food and drink person. It's a lovely soul. I have to use chopsticks. I mean, I can use chopsticks. I'm quite competent with chopsticks. It's a chicken fried rice on it in this one. Okay. The stuffed one is a ketchup fried rice inside the egg. Is this like a demi-glace in here? Is that what they're doing? Is that what's topping it? To keep the eggs moving so it doesn't get done. Yes. So it's still like, you don't want any color on the bottom of the omelet. You want that to be like a perfectly yellow omelet on the outside. Blob, he's not using chopsticks to eat his omu rice. What the heck, man? That looks really delicious. That was incredible. Demi to finish? Heard. Okay, cool. You're not doing a demi? Well, I mean, you wouldn't make demi from scratch. Like, that's not what you shouldn't make demis from scratch. Get some of the, like, concentrate stuff. I mean, that's like the easiest thing is at the grocery store, just pick up the demi concentrate. Keith, hello. Happy Wednesday. I'm doing great. Good to see you, Keith. Thanks for being here. Hello, hello. Kichiki, Kyoto. All right. Let's exit out of that. Let's take a look down here at our shepherd's pie, everybody. So we're starting to get a little bit of color here, especially on the back part. So I'm going to turn that around. There we go. Very nice, very nice. All right, so I should just keep that right there. That's a good shot on the oven. Well, it ain't great, but it'll get the job done. Ugh, it's snowing outside, Logan. Snow! I know nothing of how to live in snow. Therefore, I don't want to go to the store. Keep it, Negan. We don't need any more. Ours is finally gone. Do you have another camera on a gimbal? I just have the one. I just have this one. It's my iPhone. It's on the gimbal. And then I just use OBS camera to pair my iPhone to OBS through an NDI plugin. Cooking Girl, welcome to the stream. What's up, my mushroom friend? How are you? You sure it's not nuclear fallout? Please send snow to LA. I'm melting out here. Yeah, what do you mean? Where are you at where there's snow? Aren't you in LA, Negan? Are you and Jeff back in Massachusetts? Thank you, Negan. Close that, close that. Massachusetts until April. We're going to a Judas Priest concert. Awesome, Cooking Girl. That sounds amazing. I didn't know Judas Priest was still touring. Yeah, we just got some snow out here. We got about 5-6 inches of snow. You guys want to see the snow? Invader Zim PS, welcome to the stream. It's great to have you. My name's Logan. This is Ingrediology. If you're just waking up here in my stream, cool up here in the Bay Area, but not cold. We do need more rain, though. Always have weeds to pull. Yeah, we need the moisture. I'll take as much snow accumulation as I can get. I had to take Kevin and Kathy to the airport today. So we packed up Remy. We'll get like 3 inches a day, they're saying. You guys want to see TT? And then we have Steven, who is always under a blanket. Hi. Sorry to disturb your nap. Hey, buddy, how you doing? You have a basket? Good boy. Baby's sleeping, or I'd show you him. Ta-da! Rain all day, yesterday and last night. Gorgeous view, thank you, Hover. Yeah, it's nice. I can see Pikes Peak from my back deck on a clear day. We're up in Denver, so we can see all the way down to Colorado Springs from where we're at. Thank you, Justice. Thank you, Hover. Oh, thanks, Keith. Hey, boy, what are you doing? Kipling is post up down here. Guys, I'm buying time until our shepherd's pie is out of the oven, so I hope you're entertained by just the cat shots. Some of you might be like, this is what the stream should be all the time. You come down here to hang out with me? Kipling? You're a good boy. Oh, your name's Logan. My nephew's name is Logan. Oh, nice, Mon. My next door neighbor's name is Logan. It was weird. We moved in. It's like, you're Logan. Wait, I'm Logan. Okay, sure. Speaking of which, I need to figure out what we got to do with our neighbor. So Logan and Hannah are going to be coming over here this weekend. And we were talking about a crab boil, but it's just so much. It's so much. And with Kevin and Kathy gone and back in Indiana, and it's like only Megan and I are with the baby this weekend, I don't know if I want to be throwing like a whole like Louisiana crab boil or crawdad boil. We were talking about doing a crawdad boil. Onlycats.com. Kathy and Kevin. So, however, Kathy and Kevin have landed safely back in Indiana. Last I heard. I'm here for the kitty fix. Okay, I mean, you want some more kitty fix? I can make that happen. This is Kipling, everybody. He thinks he's a dog. He loves car rides. He's not afraid of anything. He's a little monster, to be honest with you, but he's mine. You know, Megan has Terrence, which is the first cat I showed you. Kipling, though, is attached to me at the hips. Okay. Bye, Kip. Thank you. Hey, cut it out. I just have this rug here to cover up the cords that I have running all over the kitchen, you know? Let's take a look in the oven. Oh, there we go. What? That looks delightful. Let's bring it back here to our countertop because we want to pull our shepherd's pie. Thank you, Miss Atlantis. Oven needs a cleaning. You're not wrong about that, period. You're absolutely not wrong about that. I have neglected my oven cleaning, especially since it's on camera. Hey, baby, how you doing?
Hey.
Boys asleep? Good. Okay, well, I gotta pull out the shepherd's pie, and then we just gotta let it rest, okay? Can I borrow your phone, boo-boo?
Yeah.
Thank you, sweet pea. Okay. Thank you, Bear. Are you talking about the cat or the shepherd's pie? What's up, baby? Let's get in here close. Gotta get that sweet, sweet B-roll. There we go, guys. Hover says hi, Maggie.
Hi.
So does the rest of chat.
Hello.
Says hi. Says hello. She's got to go wake up the boy.
I'm momming.
She's momming real hard right now, okay?
Momming.
All right. Well, I'll see you in a little bit, baby. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this has been quite the successful class. I am extremely happy with my shepherd's pie that we made here with you this afternoon. Thank you to Kanara for the raid. Thank you for all the new follows that we got here. If this is your first time here on Ingrediology, don't forget that every Wednesday at 3 p.m. Mountain Time, we go live and we do a free cooking class with you guys. Next week is going to be our spatchcock chicken class, and that's going to be a special roasted chicken. Spatchcocking is where you remove the backbone out of the chicken and then you lay it flat and you roast it in this special position. It just makes for more even cooking, a very moist, very juicy chicken. All right, I had to whisper that because she went upstairs. So come back next week. Join us for that. We'll also be making some sides along with it. You can check out all of our equipment guides and recipes and class guides that come along with every class for free of charge on ingrediology.org. If you'd like to help support our efforts to just get everybody to cook better at home, then you can hit ! support in chat. That'll take you over to our Ko-Fi page where you can donate a monthly amount or a one-time donation. Anything helps to help contribute to groceries as well as website hosting fees, camera equipment, the like, and I really appreciate it, so thank you in advance. If you're still with us here on Tastemade, the best way that you can help us over there on that platform is leaving a review after the class. I'll be sending you a link tomorrow to help initiate that. Just some kind words or even a star rating really goes a long way to help raising our visibility over on that platform. Let's find someone to raid. Who do we have online? You know, Mrs. Ruby rated me the other week, and I think I should return the favor. So, guys, enjoy. Oh, we got Waybread on? Ms. Ruby is on. Mrs. Ruby is a lovely streamer from Indiana, my home of Indiana. She's got an amazing community. It looks like she's already got about 90 people over in her room, and she is making French dip sandwiches. So go say hello to her for me. Thank you again, everybody. I appreciate you, and we'll see you here next week on Ingrediology. Bye-bye.